Hello and welcome to this early game Barbarian leveling guide. This is aimed at the average casual player, although I do think seasonal veterans will benefit from this. Due to the changes that Season 4 has permanently brought to the game, specifically around item drops, I believe the Barbarian should be played with one generic build from level 1 to 25, and once you hit 25 you then switch over to your traditional leveling guide, which I'm sure everyone's seen. Why do we do this? When you look at the Barbarian skills, all of the basic skills, all of the core skills which build guides tend to revolve around, they all require a certain weapon type to use. So Rend requires a slashing weapon that can be one or two-handed. Double Swing requires a dual wielding weapon, so that's a one-handed mace, axe or sword. Upheaval requires a two-handed weapon, that could be slashing or bludgeoning. And then Hammer of the Ancients requires a two-handed bludgeoning specifically, so that's the biggest restriction you've got on all the skills. And then finally, Whirlwind, you can use any weapon that you want. And I think this is significant to the Barbarian, especially before you get any aspects, before you start to synergize all of your aspects together to really bring your build online. I think you should instead try to synergize your skills instead of your aspects. And we're going to do that. So I'm going to put up a one character level 1 to 25, which will be 35 skills as long as you've got your paragons. So I'll put that up now. You can see all the skills and pause it whenever you want, and then we'll come back and I'll explain why we're using certain skills. So you've seen the skills we take. I want to quickly explain why we use them and how they're going to synergize with each other to make a really strong, fun build. So Lunge and Strike as our basic skill gives us really good mobility, really good fury generation, and we obviously have to take a and we can use any weapon that we find. Whirlwind can use any weapon that we find, and it can self-generate fury, so the more monsters that we have around us, the stronger Whirlwind is. However, on the flip side of the coin, if there's only one or two monsters, Whirlwind is then relatively weak. You can see from the tooltip bar that it does 16% damage. That's really low when we compare it to our other skills. So Hammer of the Ancients 50, Upheaval 77, Double Swing 50 per weapon, so that's actually 100, and Rend you've got 12 plus 96 bleed. So Whirlwind's damage is low against single or few monsters. Once you start getting to 3-4 monsters, then its damage is actually quite high. So against bosses and elite packs, we're going to use Rend to substitute that low single target damage of Whirlwind. Enhanced Rend, it extends vulnerable, and the reason we take Steel Grasp is A, it pulls all the monsters in, so Whirlwind is going to do more damage because there's more monsters for it to hit, but with Enhanced Steel Grasp it applies 3 seconds of vulnerable. So we pull the monsters in, we apply 3 seconds of vulnerable, we use one Rend which extends the vulnerability by a further 2 seconds, and also does a lot of damage over time, and then we start attacking with Whirlwind. And it feels really good, it works really well. Now the only thing that you have to get used to is when you first throw out Steel Grasp, there's about a 1 second delay where your character is locked and you can't do anything. Once you're used to it, it's fine, but I just wanted to warn you about that. So that's why we take the skills, that's how they synergize, and it's really good fun, strong build. So let's get into what do we do, why do we do it, when do we do it. Level 1 through to 15, you just want to power level as quick as you can, which at the moment the current meta is to level in Hell Tides. That could change in the future, but you just want to level from 1 to 15. As you find items, you pick them up, you equip them straight away. Once you get to level 15, we stop leveling, we come back to town and we do a couple of priority quests, and then we also change what items we pick up and when we equip them. So I'm going to go out there, I'll show you a bit of gameplay from 1 to 15 with how them skills synergize with each other, and then we'll explain what we do at 15 through to 25. Just wanted to quickly add, if you are brand new to Diablo 4, I would still recommend following this guide for what skills to use and how to synergize them. But when it comes to actually leveling, you will just follow the campaign and enjoy the campaign while you're going through it. Otherwise, you will just level in Hell Tides. Just got Leap, which is our mobility skill.
I must return this to its owner. I'm low on fury.
Hopefully got a nice weapon there. Let's have a look. Yep, that'll do us. This is a good thing about Steel Grasp, pull everything in. Nice. So now we can start applying Vulnerable and stacking it up. So Steel Grasp, Rend, and then Whirlwind until everything's dead.
I'm out of fury.
Oh, it's close. It really does a lot of damage, that fire attack.
I'm not ready yet.
Right, so we are 15, we're going to go level 15, we're going to go back to town. Before that, I'm going to spend all of our cinders, because that's a good experience and a good chance of getting some items, and then we'll go do our priority quests. See a treasure goblin? He is. Look at that. You've got to stop and kill treasure goblins. Oh, we're going to get a lot of monsters now.
More time. I'm out of fury.
Oh. Right, we're definitely going to town now. Pick up all of our temper manuals and time to go. Okay, so you got to level 15, obviously we've got just over, that's just how it goes sometimes, but level 15, as soon as you can, come back to town, you want to sort all your items out, and at this point we want to ignore basic and magic items, which are grey and blue. So we only want to go for rares, which are yellow, and legendaries, which are the orange. Why? Because tempering can only be done on rares and above, and tempering is a huge amount of damage and defense. So we've got a chest piece, but it's blue. I want to swap that out to a yellow. That is an upgrade anyway, so that's good. Let's upgrade. So I'm not particularly looking at the stats, it's just, is it... Oh, the only thing with rings and amulets, I'd prefer to have a socket if I can. Sockets are really nice on rings and amulets. Right, just like that. 1 fury per kill is actually quite nice, so I might keep that. Yep. That's a fury per kill and a bit better. Right, so what do we do now that we're 15? Priority quests. First one, dead simple, upgrade your potion. I think most people know about this. The potion, the alchemist. We can run down to them and upgrade our potion, which you can actually do at level 10, but might as well do it all at level 15. There's our potion upgrade. The second priority quest, which is probably the most important, and one which has changed the gameplay from Season 4 onwards, is at the blacksmith we need to temper. So the tempering adds permanent stats to all your gear, and it's significant. So the way I like to do this, boots, mobility, natural motion, doesn't really matter what it rolls, anything will be good for us at the moment. Gloves, personally I like to go utility with worldly fortune for a chance to cause some sort of crowd control. Weapons and rings, offensive natural finesse, we are a Barbarian, so the only one that we don't want is damage to ranged, or damage to distance, which this has rolled, so we will roll that off. Damage to controlled, that's fine. Damage to controlled. Damage to controlled. Damage to distance, we will re-roll. Damage to close. Close. And close. Perfect. And then we need to do our last armour pieces, which would be our pants, chest and helm. And personally, I like going natural resistance. I'm a casual hardcore player, and most of the times that I've died, it's been due to some sort of magical attack. And we can't do pants because they are magic. And this is why we want to transition at level 15 plus. We want to ignore any white and blue items and just start picking up yellows and orange. So what's that done for us? Well, if we look at our character screen here, well, I mean, to give us, well, we've maxed out on lightning resistance. We probably hit 3 lightning resistance. So yeah, that's lightning, lightning. Oh, and we didn't have our pants, so we could re-roll one of them if we want, but as a priority, I would say number 1 is fire and number 2 is lightning, and then the other 3 just as and when you get them. So we could re-roll 1, but I'll leave that for now. But then if we go down to our offense, we now have 47 damage to all, 264 damage to close, 218 damage to crowd control. Like, they're huge numbers. So without tempering, you wouldn't have that. I mean, that's over 500% additional damage. It's a really big boost to both your defense and your offense. So the gameplay changes now. Level 15 plus, when we're out on the battlefield, you do not want to equip items you've picked up. We only want to pick up yellows and orange, but we want to get a full stash of items, then come back to town, equip the best ones, reapply your tempers, and then go back out to town. That's really important to understand, otherwise you will lose damage out on the battlefield. Okay.
Well,
and then
let's have a look.
For us, the third, I'll just get rid of my items here for now. I'd normally sell them, but it doesn't really matter. For now, the third and final priority quest is the Barbarian specific quest, which unlocks our technique slot. So I'll go and do that.
You there? I see you are just where you are.
Yeah.
Welcome, Kingsley.
Okay, so that's our technique slot unlocked. Because we can apply vulnerable really easily. We actually want the two-handed expertise straight away, which normally you don't get that benefit from. But because we throw out steel grasp, apply vulnerable, and then extend the length of the vulnerable with our rend, it's easy to keep up vulnerable on monsters. So 15 through to 25, we are going to level, power level through. Like I say, the main thing now is when we find items out in the field, we pick them up, but we do not equip them. When our stash is full, we come to town, equip the best gear, temper the gear that we've just equipped, and then we're ready to go again. That's really important. And then once we hit 25, we can then start applying our aspects over to whatever leveling build you want to follow. Whether you want to stick with Whirlwind, go Dust Devil Whirlwind, or go Double Swing, Upheaval, whatever the case may be. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one.